You follow an
Sorry.
idea of how their job works. Like if you're job shadowing a doctor, shadow means to follow someone. Like
Follow someone.
mhm. So it's like similar to an internship, except in job shadowing, you don't actually do anything. All you do is follow that person. You're not supposed to help or touch anything, right? An
Mm.
intern might have jobs like getting coffee for the boss or filing paperwork. And interns can even be paid depending on the situation. But for job shadowing, all you're doing is following someone around.
Okay. I think if you want to secure your place, you want to be in a position that is much more secure than shadowing would work. But if let's say you want to try out something different, maybe that wouldn't work.
Can you clarify a bit?
Uh, but maybe job shadowing might be useful at the early stage. Once you mature up, once you get matured, once you mature out, I guess you have your own set of thinking, you have your own set of thoughts.
Well, I think the idea behind job shadowing is to give you an idea. Like, let's say you want to be a doctor, but then you job shadow and you find out what the doctor actually has to do. And maybe
Then
you find it boring or it's too much blood or something like that. Or let's say you want to be an accountant and you job shadow and it's too much sitting at a desk.
I think it works. I think it works because you get the exposure,
Right.
and then also you can gain experience, you can um get ready for the worst to happen. Like you have to learn from the experience. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's good.
get ready for the worst to happen.
Right. So prepare for the worst, I think people normally say.
Prepare for the worst to
Yeah.
come, or prepare for the worst to happen.
You just say prepare for the worst. You don't have to add anything.
So that we can prepare for the worst.
Right.
Okay. So when do we say would and will?
So will we use to talk about the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both can be used to talk about the future, but will is specifically used only to talk about the future. Like I will try, right, to do that. So it's used for future simple tense, future continuous tense, right? I will try, that's future simple. I will be trying, that's future continuous. Okay,
Okay, what about if I make an assumption?
what's
Like,
up?
I make an assumption like if I have $1,000, I would.
Oh, that we're talking about conditionals then.
Oh, that would be conditional. So you use the past tense form of can.
If I won the lottery, I would buy a big yacht,
Oh, okay.
right? Second conditional.
Second conditional.
So you can use will for first conditional, you could use will, be going to, can, may, might. Okay. And
Okay.
for second conditional, we use a past tense verb like would, could, might, may. Okay. So these are your helping verbs, would, could, might, may. And then your base verb is like your actual verb. So I would buy, I could be, Our verbs are to buy and to be. I would be able to. Our verb is be able to.
Will be able to.
Right.
Able to.
But we have two separate verbs here, would, and then our compound be able to.
Okay, so like the second one, the first conditional, the second one, if I am late for work again, can I say if I am late for work again, the boss will be angry or is going to be angry?
Sorry, say that again.
For the second one, if I am late for work again, the boss will be angry. Can I say will be angry?
I think that's first conditional.
First will I replace the
You said if I am late for work again, the boss will be angry. That's first conditional.
and this is fine, nothing wrong with the sentence.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Got you.
Because you used if, present tense, then future tense.
Oh,
You use second conditional. So they're like hypothetical situations. It's sort of like the subjunctive mood that we talked about when we first started having classes together. So you would say, for example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house, right?
I would buy a big house. Oh, okay. Hypothetical.
Right. So your condition is winning the lottery, and the result is you buy a big house.
Okay. All right, understood.
Got you. Okay. So yeah, it's just that will is a future tense type thing, and would is more of a past tense verb, right?
Like for example, just a random question. If I'm talking about, oh, I have dark circles. I have dark circles or I have dark circles around my eyes.
Second one.
Huh? I have dark circles around my eyes.
Yeah, most people say under my eyes.
Under my eyes. I have dark circles under my eyes.
Mhm.
Okay. How about if I want to say, oh, it's so bad. Just it's
So bad. Just say
it's
that. That's
so
fine.
bad. Oh, okay.
It is so bad.
It is
So
bad.
you have your subject, your verb is, and then so bad. Right.
How about dark-eyed circles? Do we have dark-eyed circles? No.
No, because dark-eyed means that your eyes, like your corneas, are dark.
Corneas.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. The area around your pupil.
Okay. You mean
I
under it?
don't know what that part of your eye is called. Okay, the cornea is here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's actually called. I don't think it's actually called the. Oh, it's the iris. Okay.
Iris.
Yeah.
Iris is the colored part.
What's up? Yeah,
I-
the iris is colored. The cornea is this membrane on the surface.
Oh, not conjunctivis.
Conjunctivitis is when your cornea gets infected.
Oh, okay. I see.
Pink eye, people call it.
Huh?
The common name for conjunctivitis is pink eye.
Pink eye.
Yeah,
Pink eye. Okay.
an infection of the cornea.
Infection of the cornea.
Okay, so, and like, it's a common injury too. People will say, what's wrong with your eye? Oh, I scratched my cornea. So a scratched cornea is when the surface of your eye gets damaged.
Ah, okay. Will you be blind?
No, not usually. It heals in the same way that skin does.
That's what?
It heals in the same way that your skin would heal. So if you
Oh,
touch your cornea, it's not permanent.
it heals just like the skin heals. Okay, got it. Okay, then the next question will be, what characteristics are important in a teacher?
Right. So let's go back to that. Let me X out some of these. Okay.
Okay,
All right. So
oh, it's not there. Oh, okay, you added some.
yeah. Does your version? Oh, you printed it out. Okay.
Yeah,
So is proper,
grammar important for English comprehension? Is it important for speaking properly? Is English, can I answer one by one?
sure.
Or they are
No, you can answer them one by one.
okay. Mm, I guess
What is comprehension, first of all?
comprehension means they will give you a text, a long text, and then you will need to answer the questions based on the text given to you. And
Right.
then, yeah, I would say a lot of kids, they always lose a lot of marks in comprehensions because they can't write the full sentence, or maybe they just give single answer, and then they they lose or they lose marks because of the grammatical error that they make.
Right. So comprehension just means understanding, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, correct. Means understanding.
So do you need proper grammar in order to understand English?
For me, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I
Mm-mm.
think it's important for other people to comprehend your writing, that you're writing with proper grammar. But if you're just reading other people's grammar, then or other people's writing, I don't think that their grammar is extremely important.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
What
And
about speaking properly? Is proper grammar important for that?
not really, because for Asian countries uh like in Malaysia, we, as long as we can understand each other, then it's fine. We don't need to be, but unless if you aspire to be a teacher or a translator, then maybe you have to speak properly. Like, it depends. I think not really.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And then, is English less dependent on grammar than, say, Chinese? You mean for Chinese?
Yeah, it's a conversational way of writing. So you could say you use comma, say comma when you want to say, for example,
For
basically.
example.
Is English less dependent on grammar than, for example, Chinese? So Chinese, but it could
Yeah.
be any. The reason we don't just say then Chinese is we don't want to ask a direct question about Chinese. We want to use Chinese as just a example of another language.
So this is just another analogy for, Or you are talking
Okay.
about for Chinese, you are talking about the language or the nationality?
It's saying that there's other languages that are similar to Chinese, basically. Like you would say, like it's
Oh,
saying that she's not worried about her grades at all. Okay, but you can, by using say, you can substitute other things out here. You could say like, then say her video game. Like, it's a way of just easily, it's like conversational English, but written.
she was much less worried about her grades than video game. Actually, I can just
Yeah, you can, but
ban
by
her
using
video
say,
game,
it's just a more casual way to say like, for example,
for example.
right?
So basically, never mind.
The point of the sentence is not to say that, it's not to say that her video game is important. The point of the sentence is to say that she doesn't care at all about her grades.
Okay, got it.
It's like emphasizing that the important part of the sentence is the first part, not the part that's after say.
Okay, so I guess grammar is still important, but once like I think grammar is still important when we want to express our feelings. So sometimes we can catch the what is that called again? Clues, the context clues.
Clues.
Yeah,
Be careful with your L.
like how
Don't skip your L when you say words that have CL, like,
clues.
right?
You mean clues?
Clues, yeah, be careful. Because if you say like clues, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, clues.
Yeah, good.
And then yeah, still we need to learn grammar, but sometimes grammar is hard and it's very different from the conversational part. Sometimes yeah, this I don't know what to elaborate on this question. Just it's well either it's important or less important.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I just chose Chinese because I know you're familiar with Chinese, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Chinese sentence won't form without grammar.
they
It's very
want
dependent on grammar.
Chinese is
Mm-mm.
okay. So English, you think, is less dependent on grammar?
I think it's
About the same?
dependent on grammar, I would say. But yeah, it's also dependent on grammar. Like if you want to make a sentence.
So maybe every language is pretty dependent on grammar.
Uh-huh. Yeah. If we don't have grammar, then it's going to be, it will give us a very hard time to understand what
Okay.
you're delivering.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think that if you're on the receiving end, if you're trying to comprehend someone else's speech, as long as their grammar is correct, it should be easy, or their writing. But for the person who's comprehending it, they can have almost no knowledge of English grammar and still understand what's being said. So anyway, let's go to this one. If no one
is harmed by a criminal act, should the perpetrator even be punished, such as drug user and prostitute? I would say still, yeah, they should get punished, but maybe with a lighter sentence. Yeah, because drug users, maybe you won't harm the public, but you might harm your own family. You might harm your family.
Right.
While prostitutes, you may cause unnecessary problem to some other families,
Right, you could,
and it is not acceptable in social norms. Yeah, if we don't punish them, then the younger generations would think that, oh, okay, I can be one of them. So then it will be very hard to control. Then the society loses its moral values.
just to play, do you know this term, devil's advocate? Devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate? No.
You got it, my typing. All right, devil's advocate means like when you argue against someone, not because you disagree with them, but because you want to force them to elaborate on their ideas, or just to make an argument for, it helps them to learn. So playing, you say, I'm just to play devil's advocate. Why, if that's true, then why are European countries letting prostitutes and drug users go without punishment? Like, it's not saying that I disagree with you, but I want to disagree with you just for a debate. So you would say, I play devil's advocate, right? The devil is like the bad person, and an advocate is like a lawyer for the devil, or
A lawyer for the devil.
or like someone who's going to give the devil's opinion, even if they don't actually agree with the devil.
So
playing devil's advocate, like, okay,
he is trying to challenge
to challenge you
my
is to play
opinion.
devil's advocate. So I'll say, just to play devil's advocate, what about countries like the Netherlands, where drug users and prostitutes aren't punished? They just let them go.
Okay. So
Why?
in European countries, they don't really punish drug user or prostitute.
Some of them.
Some of them, they just let them off the hook.
Yeah, they don't even bother. They might say, okay, you need to move, but they won't actually put them in jail or punish them.
Oh, okay.
Worst case, even in America now, I would say that most drug users are usually, it depends on the drug, but a lot of drug users are just let go and they'll give them like a ticket, like a small fine.
Mm, I see. How about
Assuming they're
smoking
not-
weeds?
if they're doing
Is
something
that
like driving and using drugs, then they'll be in trouble. Yeah.
yeah? How about people who smoke the weeds?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's pretty because a large proportion of the US has now decriminalized smoking weed.
Or decriminalized, so means they
And-
won't get punished anymore.
Right. And then a lot of states in the US actually have shops where you can buy it legally.
Okay. I see.
Thailand has decriminalized weed as well now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever smoked weeds before?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
But yeah. It,
How does it
it's a
feel?
big difference, right? Because Singapore has laws where I don't know about weed, but I know that most drugs you can face the death penalty.
Yeah. Is it the same as morphine?
No, morphine is a drug, is a painkiller.
It's a painkiller. I see. Okay, understood.
Yeah, I would say like something like weed is similar to alcohol.
Similar to alcohol. I see.
Sort of. I don't know. I don't know how to just, I'm not an expert.
Okay, never mind.
So, and I mean, so why?
Would you get addicted if you smoke weeds, or it's just a way of relieving stress?
I have no idea. It's outside my field.
Or outside?
I would say, yeah, you could get addicted to it, just like people get addicted to smoking cigarettes.
Okay, understood.
But my impression is that it's not very dangerous,
It's not very dangerous. I see.
right? Which I think is why
Would you be conscious after you smoke it, or
yeah, I think so.
it's
Yeah, I
just-
don't see, it's not like morphine, something like morphine. I've had it in the hospital before when I was in a crash. You're still conscious, but you feel
a bit?
better. Just your whole body feels a bit better.
I see. So they will give you the morphine to stop the pain.
Right. Or make it easier for you to be in pain.
I see. Okay, got it.
But then the problem is that people, like, when they're in the hospital, they're given really strong painkillers. And then when they leave the hospital, they buy those painkillers again illegally, and then they get addicted.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Which is a big problem in the USA.
in the US. I see.
The USA has a very prevalent drug problem.
Prevalent
They
drug.
have a prevalent drug problem with what are called opiates. It comes from the word opium.
Opium.
You know opium?
Yeah. I think it happened, I think the Westerns brought the opium to Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong was the main hub to distribute the opium, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I don't know about Hong Kong and opium. I know that basically at one point it was some crazy percent of Chinese people were addicted to opium. It was
Yes.
like really high. And the British, they told the British to stop bringing it, you know. But the British didn't want to stop bringing it because the British were making a lot of money off of it.
Oh, I see.
They wanted to keep supplying opium, and it actually started a war called the Opium War.
The Opium War.
The Opium War was between Britain and China.
Between the Britain and China.
Right. So the Chinese said they were going to close the port, like close all of the ports. They used to have ports that British traders were allowed to use. Traders as in traders. And the Chinese banned opium. And they said, not only are we banning it, you need to stop bringing opium to the country. And the British just kept doing it. So then the Chinese said, okay, actually no British people are allowed to trade in China anymore. And the British military, their navy, fought with the Chinese navy, and the British navy is very strong. The Chinese navy was very weak at the time. I don't know how things are now, but this was 200 years ago. And basically the British fought to be able to give drugs to the Chinese so that they could make money off of it, which is,
Yeah.
I think I think that's one of the things I learned about in school anyway. Reasons why the British weren't so good.
Sorry, British word.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons, like, you hear about like colonialism and people have problems with the British.
Mhm.
And that was one of the reasons that people were upset with the British.
Yeah, but you're not British, right? Or
No, I'm not.
you're American? Oh, okay, because I always confuse the British with the Americans. Sometimes I cannot differentiate what's the difference because you speak the same language.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that I hate British. No.
Yeah, I don't hate anyone. I think that one reason for that is that America was a British colony. So Americans speak similarly to British people. But
Yeah.
as we went over, the accents are actually different. I have talked to a lot of non-native English speakers, and they tell me that they can't tell the difference between British and American, which is pretty crazy to me, but I understand it. Just like I can't tell the difference between someone from a certain part of Thailand and another part of Thailand. They sound the same to me, but to Thai people, they sound very different.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I agree with you. I think that even for these minor criminal acts, I think that people should still be punished. Okay. Especially, I think prostitutes are more damaging, but that's just a personal opinion. Okay. What characteristics are important in a teacher?
What characteristics are important in a teacher? I think a teacher should be patient and should be knowledgeable too. You have to keep yourself you have to keep yourself updated with the latest information and never stop learning.
Nice.
And then in this era, I think it's very important for a teacher to learn digital skills. And also we have to we must be creative in delivering the knowledge to the students.
So continuing education, like keeping up on your education, digital skills, creativity, maybe patience.
Yeah. And then for teachers who want to make larger profit, then they, oh, we are not talking about how to strive or how to make profit
Anything,
to become a teacher.
any,
I mean,
not to become, but yeah, okay, why not? Anything that helps people teach.
because teacher is, if let's say you work in the public service, you work in the public setting, I think a teacher would normally get paid very less. They are underpaid.
Yeah,
So they will need to find another way out. I mean, the second income stream, is it?
right. A secondary.
A secondary income stream, so they can become a tutor, a home tutor or
Which,
whatsoever,
primary, secondary, tertiary.
tertiary. Tertiary or tertiary?
Depends on your accent. I say tertiary.
Tertiary, okay.
Primary, secondary, tertiary. So some people say tertiary, like
Because in Malaysia, most of the teachers, they work in schools first. Once they gain the recognition from a lot of students and the parents, then they slowly quit the public service, and then they end up opening their own tuition center,
got you.
which
Yeah.
is more profitable. And I believe online teaching will be another new norm now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
more profitable. Like our English adult English class, you can earn much more, and then you can bring your girlfriend and eat more good stuffs.
And I think also you can do it from anywhere. And when I used to do, well, I probably will still do some in-person tutoring, but I used to do only in-person tutoring. And then you have to, I was actually traveling to people's houses and teaching like that.
Yeah, me too. It's very time wasting.
Yeah, it
Time
was a
consuming.
lot of time. And then you think about, like, for me, I own my own vehicle. So I have to think about the work, the wear on my bike or my car, and then the gas, the time, the safety, like what if there was an accident, you know,
Oh, I
things
see.
like that. So I think that, yeah, online is the future for sure.
Yeah. So we need to learn digital skills
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
And sometimes like nothing, nothing. Because I don't know how they are so good at like advertising. Sometimes they have their own videos, they can crop out their face
Oh, yeah, for like
video.
YouTube teachers.
Yeah, the teachers, they
Yeah.
crop out their face, and then they broadcast their own they broadcast the live session. And
Well, I mean, doesn't Zoom has a tool that we can use to put a different background. I think it's just, they probably just do it with a green screen and some software, I would say.
have you ever tried figuring out or exploring? No.
No, I think I'm newer to online teaching. Well, I don't know. I think I'm newer to online teaching than you are even.
Very new to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I haven't even, I need to get a better microphone and a webcam, all those things.
oh, that's fine. I think this is good enough.
It's fine, but I used someone else's webcam when well, actually the public school where I work,
Mm-hmm.
I used the webcams that they bought for certain teachers and like for the Thai teachers, and the quality is a lot better.
I see. Yeah.
But more important, I think actually to be honest, the webcam isn't that important. It's more the sound quality.
The sound quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a better microphone.
Mhm.
Something like the ASMR
Is it?
YouTube.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
I can whisper to my students. Okay. So yeah, you already know primary, secondary, tertiary.
Mm-mm.
Cool. That's pretty much all you need for that.
Yeah.
What about any other characteristics that are important in a teacher? Like what
Teaching style, pedagogy, having
pedagogy?
good pedagogy.
What about like you hear about burnout a lot, right? Teachers get
Mhm.
burned out. What keeps teachers from burning out?
Mm, endurance. I thought endurance is the same as patience, or no?
Endurance is a bit different. Endurance is putting up with something for a long period of time.
Oh, so
Like
means you are dealing with the high stress.
right, dealing with difficulty is endurance. Like, and it can also mean physical endurance. Like, that we're talking about mental endurance, but physical endurance is like when you are able to push your body far. Like, he showed tremendous physical endurance by running for 26 kilometers.
Mm, that is physical endurance.
Right,
It requires physical and also mental endurance, actually.
right. And then patience is more like uh
You keep repeating the
someone
stuff. They
if
don't understand.
you're right, yeah. If a student is a bit slow,
Mhm.
instead of being like, listen, like you stupid idiot, this is how the blah blah blah, this is how it goes. Like
Mm.
getting angry with them for being slow. If you're patient, you're able to be calm and like slowly explain something
Oh,
rather than just getting angry at them.
yeah. Correct. And then sometimes I think a teacher, I don't know how to express it, but hopefully you can try to grasp my meaning, because some parents, I think I'm a little bit out of the topic, but I think a lot of I mean the main problem isn't the students. I think most of the problems come from the parents, actually dealing with the parents. And then that is a problem that I face most of the time. And then they are like, because I am a private tutor, and then I teach, if let's say it's private tutoring, I can offer my service to them. I can attend to them if they have any questions. But once I teach the students in group, I basically I am doing my tutorial job only. I am not responsible to answer their school homework or whatsoever. So some of the parents might get offended when I charge extra for the homework guidance or whatsoever. At first I didn't bother much. I can still help them, but they took advantage of it.
Yeah,
They sent lots of homework. They will ask me whatever things, and then because of that they quitted, or they ever since then they never say like appreciative words like thank you or whatsoever.
yeah, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Luckily, I really haven't had to deal with difficult parents. I'm sure I will in the future.
Oh, I don't think so,
What's
because
that?
I don't think so. Maybe they are respectful to
Yeah,
The white supremacy is still there. You can't deny that.
I have friends who were taken advantage of by parents. So not,
White too, white people too.
yeah.
Okay, in Thailand.
My friend was teaching science to one of his students and he was charging a very low fee because he was just doing it because he wanted her to learn. It had nothing to do with him making money. And the the father, even with, he was charging like 400 baht per hour.
That is reasonable.
That's super low. Not just reasonable, that's like extremely low.
Oh yeah.
It was even, it like, it was basically just covering his gas almost. It was that cheap. Gas and like a little bit of extra money. And then the father still was trying to like give him less money. I don't know why. It was, that's things like that.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Oh, Joey Fang wanted to cut your fee too.
Oh yeah, that I didn't realize that she wasn't joining. I thought she was still in our English class. And then
Oh,
she messaged me privately and asked if I would do one-on-one business
a
English.
one-on-one business. It's not one-on-one tutoring.
Well, yeah, no, one-on-one business English tutoring.
Oh,
And
she wants you to.
yeah, she wanted to focus on business English. I said, yeah, I can do that. And then she asked how much, and I sent her my table of fees. And I was at the shore, I was at the seashore, so I wasn't like very quickly responding to anything. And she said that, yeah, she's basically just asked for a discount.
Oh,
I
that's offensive.
said that it was already a discounted price and that I didn't discount. And then just
Oh,
stuff.
was she there yesterday? Was
No,
she? No.
no.
Oh,
She's not in our, she didn't sign up, right?
she actually paid for it already.
Oh, so she will be there. Okay.
So, but she wasn't there yesterday.
No.
Maybe she's a but I can understand. Okay, like
It was fine. It wasn't rude or anything. And
yeah,
she's
maybe
I wasn't offended by it, and she definitely wasn't offended. So
I don't know, maybe it might be a little bit awkward if she sees you
I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. I just thought it was funny.
because girls are very sensitive.
True. The conversation was very
Okay.
lighthearted.
Huh?
Okay. Let's go to this one.
How much responsibility should parents take for the education of their children?
Right.
I think especially the moral part. I think the students maybe 50%, 50 on the teachers and 50 on the parents, but they imitate their parents in terms of behavior or whatsoever, like saying a thank you to a teacher, and uh, they take like a lot of their behaviors are learned from their parents. Yeah, and then I think parents take a big role in educating their children.
Yeah, I think that
Or
personally, I would say parents are more responsible for their children's education than the teacher.
like some parents, they are not knowledgeable, but obviously they know what is right and what is wrong morally.
Right.
They should teach their children that.
Right. And I think that you can easily, as a parent, you have the ability to pay for tutoring. Well, not everyone has the ability to pay, but you have the ability to find a teacher, that sort of thing. And if you have the money to hire a tutor for your student, then for your child, then that's a pretty big help. right? I think the students that I see, the ones that are doing the best in class are usually the ones whose parents take the most interest in their
Oh, yeah, because
education.
they send them to a lot of tuition classes.
Right, yeah. And if, even if they can't afford it, then maybe they help them with their homework or ask them, make sure they're studying. That sort.
Yeah, true too.
Okay, so how can a school involve the community?
How can the school involve in the community? Involve the community or involve in the community?
Involve the community. So
Involve the community.
you would say, you can say it in two ways. How can a school be involved with the community? That means the school is like working with the community. And you can also say, how can a school involve the community? That means that the community is working with the school. So they're pretty similar, but a slight difference.
Ah, okay.
The focus is on a different part for the first one. Like here,
So
let me write it out. It's easier for me to write.
how can a school involve with the community? The high school. Okay.
So you see how, what the difference is? In the first one, the school is the one that's doing the action. And the second one, the community is the one that's doing the action.
Ah, okay. So it's more collaborative for this for the second one, right? I mean, if let's say the school involve the community, it's more on the collaborative side.
Mhm.
Okay, well, another one, this high school is involved in the community means it's initiative, correct? So,
Kind of, it means it's initiative.
uh-huh,
Like, you could use initiative as a noun here. You could say that they undertook an initiative to help the community. But are you using initiative as like the initiative, the high school took the initiative, like they're the ones that are taking the action? Yeah, I think so. Okay, that's how you're using it, right?
mm-mm.
No, how are you using it?
You mean initiative?
There's two meanings, right? There's
Uh,
initiative. Initiative means, can mean this.
means you take the action first.
Yeah. And then it can also mean like a plan.
Ah, yeah.
There.
Mm,
The community undertook a new initiative designed to reduce homelessness, like building houses for the poor. But you can also say he showed initiative by asking his boss for more work.
he showed initiative by asking his boss for more work.
It means he's the one that's taking the action. Normally, the boss would have the initiative just by default.
So
boss
he's
would say,
inviting trouble.
No, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. How
Yeah,
can a
initiative-
person ask for more work when they
Yeah,
can
like
rest?
initiative, like your boss might say, I'm glad that you took the lead on that project. You showed a lot of initiative. It means like doing something on your own without needing someone who has initiative can make decisions and finish work on their own without having to have someone tell them what to do. A
Okay.
good worker has initiative.
A good worker has any initiative.
Yeah, they don't need someone to tell them what to do. They can figure it out on their own.
I see. I think you have answered the question. How can a school involve the community?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But do you have any other
Mm,
ways the school can involve the community?
I guess inviting I'm a little bit
You're a little bit,
like I quit the school, I stopped schooling for so long, so I don't know how are they going to involve the community.
right. Well, I haven't been, it's been a long time since I was at school.
And then you work in a school setting, so
Yeah,
so it's a hard
It's-
question for me too. But yeah, I guess it's almost time for you. You will need to get back to your work, right?
oh yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess we should end here for today.
All right. So you will upload the video on YouTube, right? On private link. Just put them in,
Yeah,
let them unlisted.
yeah, and then I'll send the link. You mean the video from last night, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yep.
Oh yeah, today is our 27 or 28 lesson.
Let me check. Okay. 28.
28. Yeah. 28. So I'll also record it now. Thanks anyway. Thanks so much.
See you next time.
All right, see you and goodbye.
Good job.
Bye.